He was on his knees, sobbing into my thighs, begging me to keep the baby he had just cried over on an ultrasound screen. But I was staring at the Reddit tab still glowing on his phone, a thumbnail of two men, because I had only been looking for a pregnancy forum. Would you take the money of a man who engineered your pregnancy to build himself a closet? 3 weeks ago, I was lying on a vinyl examination table, legs in stirrups, while a technician pressed cold gel against my belly and told me something was severely wrong. The kind of wrong that dictates more scans, more waiting, more sitting in plastic chairs under fluorescent lights. David sat beside me. His hand rested on my knee. His thumb did not move, not once, not in the 40 minutes we waited for the doctor to return. Even with my body doing something terrifying and new inside me, his hand felt like a prop. A dead weight placed there for an audience. We had been together 1 year. 12 months of a relationship where intimacy was a negotiation I always lost. He would pull away, go quiet, stare at the wall with a jaw locked so tight I could hear his teeth clicking in the dark. When I asked what was wrong, he would release a long, exhausted sigh. That specific sigh made me feel like I was asking too much just by wanting to be touched by the man I slept beside. He guilted me into staying, not with shouting, not with cruelty, with silence, with the slow, deliberate withdrawal of warmth, until I apologized for something I could not name. I apologized constantly, for needing, for wanting, for existing in a body that asked to be held. Before you judge me for staying, look at my life when I met him. I had an 8-year-old. I was unemployed. I was living in a temporary one-bedroom where the radiator clanked at 3 in the morning like a hammer hitting a pipe. I had just enrolled in university, trying to build a future from the debris of my last one. I passed my driving test around the same time. Small victories. David was simply a presence in the doorway. A presence that said, "You are not doing this alone." I grabbed onto him because the alternative was doing it with nothing at all. Then the test turned positive. I stared at the 2 lines on the bathroom floor, my knees pressing into the thin lino, and I thought of his exes. Early on, he casually mentioned they had all had abortions, all of them. So I assumed that was the script. That was the ending he had already written for us. I told him. He nodded. We booked the appointment. The date went into my phone calendar between a university lecture and a driving lesson I no longer needed. But my body had other plans. The complications hit fast and ugly. Bleeding that soaked through towels. Cramping that locked my hips in a vice. More scans. More waiting rooms. More of that humming fluorescent light pressing against the backs of my eyes. During one of those scans, David looked at the small, flickering, gray image on the screen, and he cried. Actual tears. Wet, shaking, open-mouthed sobs. He grabbed my hand, knuckles whitening, and said we could not end this. The abortion was scheduled for the next morning. He talked through the night, soft voice, trembling hands. He painted a picture of a family, a future. I was so physically hollowed out by the bleeding and the fear that I canceled the appointment. I canceled it because he cried. Because he made me believe those tears meant he chose us. He did not choose us. 2 days later, I was sitting on the edge of the bed looking for a pregnancy forum. My phone had died. His was on the nightstand, screen already unlocked. I picked it up, typed the search in, clicked through. Then I opened the browser history, read it. I wish I could tell you I screamed. I wish I could tell you I threw the phone. I did not. I went very, very still. Because the history was not just a history. It was an archive. Pages and pages. Months of it. Gay pornography. Gay community forums. Chat rooms. Reddit threads flooded with it. Hundreds of links. The kind of volume that does not happen by accident. A second life, lived in the blue glow of a phone screen while I slept 2 feet away. He knew the whole time. I put the phone down on the duvet, screen up, evidence up. I waited. My fingers were physically cold. The blood had pulled back from the tips, as if my body was trying to retreat from itself. He walked in, saw the phone, saw my face. The color drained from his cheeks in a slow, ugly tide. He sat on the edge of the bed, the mattress dipping under his weight, and then he talked. I need you to hear this part clearly. He told me he had slept with men. Roughly 7. He told me he cross-dressed. He told me he was a bottom. He said it flatly. Clinically. Like reading a medical chart. Then came the part that still makes my throat close. He said he was only gay when he was inebriated. Only when he was drunk. That the sober David, the David who wept over an ultrasound and begged me to keep his child, was a different man. A straight man. A man who just happened to black out and find himself in beds with 7 different men. Then he got on his knees. He grabbed my legs, pressed his wet face against my thighs, and he sobbed. Deep, heaving, ugly sounds. He said, "Please stay, I will pay for everything. The accommodation, the university, the baby, everything, just stay, and I will never do the gay stuff again." He said it like it was a habit, a vice, like smoking, as if his identity was a behavior he could lock in a drawer next to his sobriety, as if I was not a person in this equation but camouflage. A beard with a pulse, a uterus, and an 8-year-old who needed a stable roof. He wanted me to be his closet. And the worst part is that I finally understood why he had cried over that ultrasound. It was not joy. It was not paternal love. It was a lock clicking shut. A baby meant I was bound. A baby meant I needed his money. A baby meant I would not leave, because where would I go? Unemployed, in temporary housing, with 2 children, no savings, and a body that was still bleeding. He had calculated it. He had looked at my desperation and seen a deadbolt. I walked out. I am sitting somewhere that is not that 1 bedroom, and my body is still advancing the pregnancy whether I want it to or not. My 8-year-old is asking questions I cannot answer, and his offer is still on the table. The money, the accommodation, the promise to do everything forever.